People in Roanoke, Lynchburg, Danville, and other parts of the state head to the polls on Tuesday. City council seats are up for grabs, and in places like Roanoke City, a new mayor will be elected.
Of course, once in office, these decision makers will have a big impact on our local communities, but we typically don't see big turnouts at the polls like we do in presidential elections. WSLS 10's Bree Jackson joins us. She's live in the studio today. So, Bree, what are election officials expecting to see tomorrow?
Well, John, they're still in wait-and-see mode. Election officials I spoke with say turnout is historically low in these types of elections, but many times it also depends on whether or not there's a key issue on the ballot. City election officials say the largest May turnout they've seen in the past decade happened in 2006. That turnout was at 25%, and as you may recall, that year, Victory Stadium was a big issue. Some candidates were for tearing it down, while others said it should be renovated. That controversy drove a large number of voters to the polls, but since then, turnout has been low. In the last election in May 2014, about 15% of voters came out. I spoke with WSLS 10's political analyst, Ed Lynch, and he says these local elections are important because they have an immediate impact on issues such as funding for schools, roads, and trash pickup. Lynch also points to the more recent House Bill 2 in North Carolina. It's the so-called bathroom bill, and he says that started at the local level and then became a national issue.
That actually started after an ordinance passed by the Charlotte City Council having to do with the same issue. It then became a state issue, and it is now a national issue. So yeah, these local elections are very important. It's sort of where the rubber meets the road.
And Lynch says a high turnout indicates a high desire for change, and when there's a general level of satisfaction or there's no real prospect for change, then that's when we see those more depressed turnouts. Now, don't forget that the polls open at 6 in the morning and close at 7 p.m. Now, coming up at 6, we'll take a closer look at the Roanoke City election, and there's 3 seats up for grabs, and we could see some big changes on City Council. In the studio, Bree Jackson, WSLS 10.